Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, it's a bit chaotic. I think there's a party at the. There's one of those children's thingies, children's scouts, because it's not just for girls or boys; it's both. And the cats have been very upset about it, especially Toulouse. Poor Toulouse. How are we doing? Hello, everyone. Hi, Venom. Long time no see. I feel like, hi, Millis. Hi, Wumpa Stumpa. We're getting cooked today. Why? Why are we getting cooked? What is happening? Did you see? Oh, I didn't update. I should probably update my timer. Did you see in my latest video on YouTube that Toulouse makes an appearance? I couldn't leave her away. Hi, Blue. How are you doing? Garfield. Hi there. Hello, Harmony. How are you? Welcome in. And Daniel, those pesky kids disturbing the cat's peaceful Sunday. Well, it was so unfortunate. So I've been sleeping very poorly during the night. I don't know what's happening, but I go to bed at the normal time, and then at 12 I wake up, at 1 I wake up, at 2 I wake up, at 3 I wake up, at 4 I wake up, and then at 5 my alarm goes off. I don't know. I don't understand. Last night was particularly bad because I didn't realize that the clock was moving. So I thought I was going insane. Because I thought, wait, isn't it supposed to be 4? Why is it 2? What is happening? So I have just not been okay. And I went for a walk with Winston, but it was storming, so he was angry, so it didn't last very long. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going back to bed. Just going back to bed. I only woke up at 11, and at 12 I wanted to air out the house a little bit, and I'm not kidding. I opened the door, and they turn on their music. So Toulouse just completely freaked out. She's okay now, I feel like, but yeah, she was not okay. And Winston either. He was upset because Toulouse was upset, and now everyone is upset. I hope my eyes aren't red anymore because I feel like I fell asleep with a hair in my eye. I can't get it out. So it's been a great Sunday so far. How are you doing? Hi, Lulu. How are you? But I've got my tea because it's a bit late for coffee. With lots of sugar. I've got my books. And before I forget, let me just really quickly update it because I'm gonna forget tomorrow. Um, Switch accounts. Give me a moment. Um, I didn't go out for the walk, one, because I forgot that I kind of had another week. So there was no need for me to struggle. But also, there was an actual storm. Why didn't anyone warn me that there was an actual storm on its way? Hello? Uh, on Thursday, I woke up and I just thought this is not normal wind, is it? This is quite. Oh, Winston has opened up the curtain. This is quite aggressive. So you know what? I'm not gonna even try because I'm not even gonna make it to the bus. I don't weigh a lot. And then I found out that it, Storm Benjamin, was it Benjamin, or am I confusing the name because that's the book that I'm going to be reading in a few days about Benjamin something. Um, I don't know. ah, ah. I know I should have done this before, but I'm going to forget if I don't do it now because I've been telling myself this for a few days now. So let me just do it right now. Copy paste. There we go. Oh. Who read the books of this month? We read, or I did, Five Nights at Freddy's, Fazbear Frights Into the Pit, which is a collection of short stories, and Under the Skin. For this one, maybe you've watched a movie? Has anyone watched a movie that was based on this book? Look at that cover. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna close the curtains again because Winston opened them. Hold on. My eyes hurt, so I kind of need. That's why it's a bit dark today. I'm sorry, but I need it to be dark, so I can make it through the rest of the week. Well, Daniel, it's Sunday. They're allowed to be noisy on Sunday, and I know that there's like some kind of scouting or something. Not even that close, but it's the Netherlands. It's flat. Noise carries. So it was just unfortunate. But Tuz is okay now. I gave her snacks and some cuddles, so she's okay. You have a morning migraine, Lulu. Maybe you shouldn't be watching your screens. That's really not ideal, is it? Maybe take a break. Close your eyes. Thank you for the hug, Garfield. You want to draw your comma? What do you mean? Comms? Lulu? You're making not a lot of sense. What are you talking about? Okay, good. Because I don't know. This morning I woke up and this one was just swollen and red, and now this one is hurting. So, but I think I know what I think. It's probable that Toulouse knows that I'm having a hard time sleeping because she insists on lying in my neck, and I'm afraid that she probably found her way on my face somewhere during the night. And I think there's just hairs in my eye. It happens sometimes, but usually I can get them out. Yeah, the Benjamin Franklin book. Do you want to see it? It's huge. I'm thinking about actually starting it like this week, or, well, in the coming days already, because it's quite big. Uh, it would probably have been Benjamin. He came through near the UK last week. Yeah, because it was wild. And you know, I've had a few instances where I went out to record the walk with me, and well, one time they were doing extreme maintenance on the forest, which meant that it was actually closed off for the public, and I was not supposed to be there. Could have died. Then was it the last one or the one before that? The moment I walked into the forest, I heard shots. But I live in the Netherlands. There's no guns here. I guess they were hunting or something. I don't know. So that wasn't good either. And when I realized that it was really, really windy, and I didn't know that at that point that it was actually storming, but I just felt like it's not a good idea. I'm not feeling okay. I still have a week. I have another thing to do. Let's just do it next week. And it's a good thing too, because it's really dangerous if you go into the forest when it's storming like that. You're putting yourself in unnecessary danger. Don't do that. So I didn't. Instead, I made a YouTube video explaining how I rate books, because I don't want to continue explaining that in every video I make. I would rather just put that in the description box as a standard. Like, if you wonder why I'm not rating the books, it's there you go. So that had to be done anyway. So I did. Hi, Wisdom. You love FNAF? I don't like saying it like that, but yeah, FNAF. I didn't play the games. I didn't watch anyone play the games. I didn't know it existed. I do know a little bit about the author, the creator of it. But this was my first experience with the actual, concept and everything. Yes, the one with Scarlett Johansson, Millis. Under the Skin. I had a copy and I was going to try and watch it, but I've had a bit of a month, so I just didn't have the mental stability to actually watch what is going on in this book. I didn't want to expose myself to it. So did you watch it? I haven't gotten to it yet. Finishing The Shining first. Oh gosh, how is that? I didn't see the movie or read the book. Is it good, Daniel? Oh, your commissions, Lulu. You know that sleep and rest. I need to remind myself of this as well. Is not a reward. It's actually an activity. Resting and making sure that you are physically and mentally okay is not a reward. So please, if you have the time, go lie down. Am I carving a pumpkin for Halloween? I wish I could, but I'm pretty sure that Winston will not allow me to. No, I'm doing something else. Actually, I have to get on that this week. Hi, Loop. How are we doing? And Av, happy Sunday. Oh, yes, I do remember what happened to Peter, but legally, right? As far as I know, you're allowed to have guns, but you're not allowed to have them off of the shooting range. Because I did know people, uh, like in my teens, I guess. Yeah, I was still a teen who were planning on going into the military and would practice at shooting ranges. But as far as I know, you're not allowed to have that outside of the shooting range, not like, with ammo in it. I'm assuming they were hunting. So that's not the same as a normal gun, right? That's like a rifle you use. Because I do know there's hunting. Unfortunately, I found the results of it one time. That was not fun. That really wasn't fun. I thought I was going to have a nice walk in the forest, and instead I found a body of an animal. The friends I was with were not as impressed as I was. I was done. I was really done. And yeah, there's also like not vintage. What's the other word? Like the really really old guns that are really not working anymore. Those are a thing as well. You played the games and saw the movie? There's a movie of this? Or this? Or both? It's very good so far. I've already seen the movie, but I don't remember half the details in the book. Generally scary at times too. This is Stephen King, right? Isn't it? The Shining? Isn't that from the Here's Johnny? Is that movie? I also feel like it's the movie where there's a shower scene. And if that's the case, if it's the shower scene that I have in my mind, what I know about that scene, this is so random. Welcome to my brain. If that is in that movie, the actress who is in the shower had such a horrible scream that they had to dub it because it was just awful. Am I talking about the right movie? I don't know. Do you recognize the scene? I'm okay, Loop. What about you? What did you do this weekend? What is everyone went up to? I was sleeping. Like, actually. Sleep time is more... Okay, well... Remember, resting is not a reward. It's an activity. I've been working on that myself. It's a hard one to remember. Imagine trying to carve a pumpkin with two demand for spunks every 5 minutes. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. And Winston is, I don't know, he's been in a mood. He doesn't like that it's storming. I think I need to make him some kind of raincoat or something so he doesn't feel the wind as much. He gets so pissed off. It's funny until he gets angry at me. Then it's no longer funny. Hi, Storm. Bot thought you were cussing me out. Antique, that's the word. Thank you, Melis. I feel like it's still storming, by the way. It's still quite wild outside. There's going to be a second movie of this, of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, okay. Is it any good? Oh, thank you, sir. That was Psycho. Okay. there you go. Random information about that shower scene. I don't know why I know that. I really don't. Oh, that sounds delicious, Garfield. Go keep an eye on it. That one room is room 237. In the book, it's room 217. The number was changed in the movie because the owners of the hotel used exterior shots in the movie. Thought people would not want to stay in the room. Really? Oh, that's stupid. Because actually, there's like there's people who will actively search that stuff out. That's really stupid of them. I feel like they missed an opportunity there. There's people who actively go to you know, bad places. Hallo, lieve vriend. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. It's been a bit of a week. We're getting through it. I'm looking forward to that it's dark again because I hate that they changed the clocks. Why haven't we gotten rid of that yet? It makes no sense. I don't get it. We're all having a day. Have Stephen King, yes. Okay, Daniel. There's an axe plus bathroom door scene in The Shining. Could be the one you're thinking of. I need to close the window. Hold on. No, they're getting too loud. Hold on. I was just in time. I'm not kidding. She said she gave some details that you're not supposed to hear. Holy crap. Okay, if I suddenly mute myself, I'm so sorry, but there's like something going on. And they have a very loud loudspeaker. I have nothing open. I don't get it. Why does that woman's voice carries? She does not need a loudspeaker. All right, I'm gonna keep an ear out. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. Yay. Um, Hello, Sagittale. I don't know what to do with your name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. A three stream streak storm. That's bad. No, that's okay. I think it's interesting that they incorporated that. How do we feel about knowing how much we are in someone's stream? I'm not sure. Um, Not the bot thinking another language will swear. Yeah, Storm. Yeah, the bot thought you were calling me. You know, you probably know which word I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to get like I don't know banned for no reason. Hi, Les Bound. Enjoy your lurk, Mario. That was interesting. I think she gave some details. I'm not kidding. She gave some details. I don't know what they're up to. I feel like it's some kind of scavenger hunt or something, but it's not okay. Wouldn't that be interesting, being doxxed by your neighborhood when they don't even know? No, blue. It's the Netherlands. It's very flat. So even though it's not, I'm kidding. It's not close. It's not close at all. But there's a festival 2 towns over, right? There's a festival 2 towns over, and I can hear everything when that's happening at the beginning of the year. I think it's somewhere in spring. But yeah, it was just this one woman. Oh no. Automat is victimizing today. Automat is always being a nuisance. Anyway, so am I gathering that I really should have watched Under the Skin? The music isn't that loud at all. I don't understand why she was that loud. It makes no sense. I don't know. I think she has issues. The drinking festival, one of my Dutch friends went. All the festivals are drinking festivals, aren't they? All festivals are just an excuse for everyone to have breakfast with a beer. Is my experience, at least. Even though I would rather have a wine. I don't enjoy beer. Not the regular beer, at least. I didn't watch the movie. I could at some point, maybe in the future, but I didn't want to. Just so you know, I'm going to talk about the books and about what they're about, right? So I'm going to spoiler things that you might not want to be spoiled about if you plan on reading them. So let's start at the one that seems to be most known, I guess, which is Five Nights at Freddy's, which naturally it's 3 short stories. The first one is about Oswald, the second about Sarah, and the third one about Millie. Uh-oh. Um, Oswald has a very boring summer. And if I remember correctly, his parents aren't really, they don't have a lot of money. So he can't go on a fancy vacation, just like all his friends, except they do spend money on pizza every day instead of giving him a regular lunch. So that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe that's because I'm not American and I'm Dutch, and it's just normal for Dutch people to have a sandwich for lunch. But he has a slice of pizza every day. And I thought, if you do that the entire summer, you could have gone on a very fancy vacation. But maybe that's just me. I didn't think it was scary. I mean, it is the title story as well, which I don't really understand. I would have put it at the ending or in the middle, but not the first one. It kind of, I don't know. But Into the Pit is literally what is on the cover. It's one of those ball pits. Who remembers the ball pits? Uh, I feel like it's very mean that there's an age restriction on these things, just like bouncy castles. It's just um, it's mean. Who says that when you're 12 you no longer have the desire to have fun? Makes no sense. Every time I see a bouncy castle and I see the age at which you're no longer allowed to go on it, I get upset because why? I mean, I get why, but also they're kids. They'll bounce. They're okay. So it is my dream to one day set up a bouncy castle in a very public place and put an 18 plus sticker on it so all the kids can go cry. And maybe I'll put a ball pit next to it as well. And no kids allowed, okay? Um, Giving away the game for that story next week. It was like, where do I know that from? Oh yeah, Jerry spoke about the book. Epic are giving away the game? Oh, this game, really? I mean, I don't know the games. I also didn't realize that there were movies to begin with, let alone a second movie. None of the stories were scary to me. I feel like they just kind of hinge on shock factor. So they were amusing. The stories were amusing, but I guess my expectation when it comes to horror is a lot higher. Um, the second story bothered me a little bit because it plays into the insecurities of women a little bit too much. And while I get the message, which is you shouldn't focus on beauty because that's not, it's not all there is to life. I feel like it was stereotypical, and maybe the gender should have been swapped. Maybe Oswald and Sarah should have been swapped as characters. I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more, but because she wants to be pretty, I don't know. It didn't feel right to me. Amount of money America charged for pizza to have a slice every day, so they definitely could have afforded a holiday. I mean, sort of like a freaking cruise around the Caribbean. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. But what age is the games marketed towards? Does anyone know? Hi, Uggs. How are you doing? I'm talking about the books. Did you see this movie? I feel like you're someone who watches a movie like this. Young teens? Then I am a little bit more bothered about the second story, actually. Oh God, I still haven't updated the notes. I'll do that before the end of the month. I do say that in my notes as well. Um, okay, we're good. It's gonna be an interesting stream. Ah, all right. The game was more focused on jump scares and a bit of story about the. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I did feel that. I feel that that is what every story is hinged on as well. Well, do you want me to spoil it? Do you? I mean, do these characters sound familiar? They're. I mean, on the back it says, "What do you wish for most?" It's a question that Oswald, Sarah, and Millie think they know the answer to. Oswald wishes his summer wasn't so boring. Sarah wishes it to be beautiful, and Millie wishes she could just disappear from the face of the earth. Which also, I mean, I feel that, Millie. I feel that. No, Riku. Hi, Riku. Don't. No. The neighborhood is trying to dox me. It's not funny. I don't like scary films, more sci-fi or rom. This is sci-fi. This is like sci-fi. This one is very interesting, and I would recommend it really to a lot of people. Actually, I don't. I mean, it was a bit gory, but it wasn't. It wasn't horror. Depending, maybe because I'm a one, I didn't think it was that scary. But first, um, okay. I'll tell you what the first story is about. The first story is about Oswald, and he wants a more interesting summer, but his parents decide to spend all their money on pizza instead of, I don't know, going camping. So he spends his days in the library, and every day he goes to Jeff's Pizza to get a slice of pizza. And in the back of Jeff's Pizza, there's this abandoned ball pit. Instead of, cleaning it up, they just left it there. There's like tape around it. It's dirty. And one day, I guess to annoy his dad, he decides to hide in this dirty ball pit. And he closes his eyes and he counts to 100. And when he opens his eyes, he's suddenly in a different dimension. Cool. Okay. It's nothing scary here. It's more like, okay, interesting. And it ends with him being chased by the Fazbear. Is that his name? No, it doesn't end like that. He gets chased out of the pit by Fazbear, and suddenly his dad is Fazbear, but no one notices. Only he knows, so he's terrified, and um, it kind of ends with him escaping the pit eventually, because he goes back into it or something. I don't even know. It wasn't that interesting. But the scary part is, as he is chased by Fazbear, he gets hanged like out of nowhere. He I don't know. He gets stuck in something and he gets hanged, and his dad is fine, and that's it. That was it. It really wasn't scary. It was interesting, but the scare factor, the shock factor, like someone just mentioned, that the games also kind of hinge on that. Oh, hi, Easy Art and Century Anime. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome. His dad's line of yeah. I mean, I don't mind either, Alex. I live on pizza, honestly, but he complains that he wants to go on a fancy vacation like his friends, and his parents are like, no, instead you're gonna eat pizza the entire summer. Just didn't make sense. Inconsistency. There's a lyric from a Jethro Tull song that seems appropriate sometimes. Well, do you ever get the feeling that the story is too damn real and in the present tense, or that everybody's on stage and it seems like you're the only person sitting in the audience? Oh, yeah. Real life is more weird than you can ever imagine. Trust me. Hi, Keaton. I hope you're having a great Sunday too. And I know I just breezed through that, but honestly, the first story just wasn't that interesting. Yeah, he eats pizza. He gets chased by Fazbear, and the Fazbear pretends to be his dad, which is a bit creepy, I guess, especially if you're a young teen. But the story ends when Fazbear gets hanged, out of nowhere, just out of nowhere. But because it's a book, it doesn't really work. I don't feel like that works. It works only in a visual. But maybe that's just me. The second story is about Sarah. Sarah wants to be beautiful. And one day, she she finds that also the only story with this. No, that's not true actually. The last one has him too. Sarah wants to be beautiful, and she finds this robot. She takes it home, and every night she goes to sleep, she wakes up and she's a little bit more pretty, I guess. And the robot does that. Wait, how did this end? I don't even remember. Because I was very upset. There's also a talk about galleries, and I don't like that. That happens. When was this published? Because you can say galleries, but that doesn't say anything to 2020. So see, it's not necessary. If you're going to talk about galleries, talk about like what kind of galleries. Don't just, especially if this is marketed towards young teens. You're telling a story about a young girl who wants to be pretty and is like looking at galleries. That's not okay. That's perpetuating a very hurtful just thing that girls do, focus on being beautiful and on their weight. Don't do that. Don't perpetuate that. That's so it bothered me. I really don't remember how it ends. There's a lady yelling and she might dox me outside, so give me a moment. Can you hear that? Can you hear the music? It's insane. This is so loud. I mean, stopped talking at least. She's yelling details about like town. There seems to be a scavenger hunt. There seems to be a scavenger hunt. There is some kind of scouting over there, and every once in a while they have parties. But this has never happened before. She is louder than the music, like at least double as loud. And she was yelling details about the town. What? Oh, it's K3. Oh no. Well then. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best. We're gonna try to fly through this because this is nowhere. It's not gonna go well. I know you might not hear it, but if it catches, and it's you never know what the mic catches, and you could hear if you turn up all the sound all the way up. I would rather not risk it. All right. Like the music isn't nearly as she is louder. She is really loud, and she also kept walking towards the stereo where you get that like the how do you call that when the mic in the stereo starts to react like at least 12 times. She needs to quit it. It's Dutch music as well, but that's fine as long as she doesn't yell like about my neighborhood and my town. Feedback, yes, that she kept doing that. I mean, lady, first off, not everyone is interested in this. All right, I don't. I'm not kidding. It's not even that close. I don't get it, but I think the wind is this way. And it sounds like K3. If you don't know what that is, I envy you. Okay, thank you for the follow, Aristo and Drubby. There is supposed to be sound, but also I'm not supposed to be tossed by this random lady. Anyway, yeah, exactly. That was wild. I mean, the first time I muted, literally the second after she said something, it would have been game over. It would have been game over. That was I'm getting a headache. Okay, I was talking about the second story. I turned off the music again. I don't trust it. Sarah wants to be beautiful. And she finds a robot, and that robot forces her to sleep, and every time she wakes up, she's a little bit more pretty. But she is turning into a robot herself. Da da da. That was a that was the second story. I don't really. I think. I mean, she basically she just Oh, right, right. And instead of she doesn't actually get pretty. Actually, the robot is taking her human body parts and replaces them for the robot body parts. And for some reason, she thinks she's getting more pretty, but she's not. And at the end, she's just a robot. And she was no longer a pretty girl or a girl at all. She felt sad, then she felt scared, and then she felt nothing at all. I was like, okay, well, the most upsetting part about this story is that they're talking about hurt harmful subjects about wanting to be pretty at all and calories and stuff. That was the most scary thing about this story to me. Third story is about Millie. Millie doesn't want to be alive. Basically, she just wants to disappear. Who doesn't know that feeling? Really, I think we've all been there, especially when we were teens. Uh, and her parents moved to like um, what is it? Dubai. Say Dubai. I think it's in that region. And she has a choice to as a teen, which is that sucks. There's a hair or something tickling me. As a teen, has to choose: do I go with my parents to the other side of the world and get put into a world that I don't get, and as a teen you're already a bit fragile, or stay in America and move in with her grandpa. So she decides to do the latter, but she's a moody teen, and she doesn't have her parents anymore. She feels neglected, and that's all very valid, and I fully agree. But she does treat her grandpa really shitty, like really really shitty, and the grandpa is very understanding and really lets her get away with it because he's like, I get it. It's not fun. You got abandoned by your parents basically, and now you have to live with this smelly old man. So at Christmas, the rest of the family comes by, and she says, "I don't want to participate. I'm not doing it. I'll show my face, but that's it. I'm not gonna celebrate with you." And instead, she goes into the shed of her grandpa, where she finds a robot, a Fazbear robot, I guess. Is that what? I think that's from the games, right? Isn't it like an automatic? No, that's not the word. I'm so scared of the noise outside. Um, and she climbs into it, and from there on, basically, the story is called Count the Ways, I think, as well. Yeah, Count the Ways. The second one was called To Be Beautiful. Very original. Count the Ways. And this robot bear, Fazbear, locks her up inside and kind of explains to her in what ways he could help her disappear, if you know what I mean. And she realizes she kind of doesn't want to disappear. But, her family assumes, the rest of her family assumes that she's just minding her own business and they're not going to go look for her. And she's not missing, and she's in that bear, and the bear is telling her all the lovely ways that he could help her end her life, and eventually he does, and she's not missed. But that story was just sad because the story is that the robot is her grandfather's, and he's working on it. I guess I don't know what he's doing with it, but it's her grandpa's shed, and her grandpa's robot bear thing, and she just gets disappeared inside. But that means that the grandpa has to find her. Sad, just sad, sad. I don't know, Beats. You tell me. But I am going to welcome Did and Shut Up Pickle. Okay, welcome. Thank you for the follows. No, yeah, basically, maybe he did it on purpose. He could, that could, oh, I didn't consider that. Yeah, maybe he did it on purpose. I don't know. I just felt sad. I just felt sad. Like, he brings her cookies and milk and he's just understanding and he doesn't even raise his voice even though she kind of deserves it quite a few times. And then she does that. No, I didn't like it. So first story, not that scary, shock value. Second story, um, it bothered me because it played into insecurities of young girls, and I don't think that's a wise thing to do, even though the message is there. It's just something that girls are sensitive to, even if the message is that you shouldn't. It's not going to work, not with a teenage brain. And and the last one, it was just sad. So is this horror? To me, it wasn't. But maybe if you're a young teen, it is. But then I feel like the second story, eh, eh. I don't think I would have thought this was scary either as a young teen because I did. Well, I should not use myself as an example because I was reading quite wild books at that point. I read The Lovely Bones when I was 12. A bit young. I don't recommend. Don't read that when you're 12. It's not good. The first sentence alone is already like, oh, okay. But with that being said, I do feel like this is a great book if you are not used to reading anymore. Not because it's marketed towards young teens. To me, that just means there's a certain level of language. It's not too complicated, and the layers aren't too deep. So if you're not used to following a story in a book, this is a great way to get back into it, especially if you're familiar with the games. The stories were not too short, not too long. You could read them in a few days and not lose the plot because it's just not too complicated. That's what it means to me when it's marketed towards a certain age. But don't think you're gonna get scared. It's shock value more than anything, and I'm assuming that the rest of the series is gonna be the same because it is a series. It's the first in a series. I do think that another one was in book club, the Silver Eyes or something. They turned off the music. That's not good. Oh, let's turn it back down. Okay. Um. Oh, that's also a part one. It's a new series. I think this is also in a book club though. Silver Eyes. Is the game scary? Is the movie scary? Or is it really just, jump scares? Is that it? I'm not saying I didn't like it. Like, if as Ox is recommending, if you're an angsty teen, I'm sure you're amused. I wasn't boring. I wasn't bored. It wasn't boring. It's just I kind of expected a little bit more. I guess it was just regular story, and then bam, shot. Like, the last one was the scariest, I guess, because she's stuck in that robot the entire time, but. But I didn't feel the anticipation either, Ox. It was just a story. Was it really? Was it really? I don't know. I think maybe this Scott person is better at making games because it just doesn't really come across in book form. I think that is my ultimate conclusion. The format doesn't work unless you are actually building up tension a little bit more. I didn't feel the tension at all. But again, if you're not used to reading anymore, you want to get back to it, and you do lean towards this kind of stuff, then it's a perfect book to get back into reading and to train your stamina. Because it's like I said, the stories are 60 to 70 pages. that's doable, right? It's pretty doable. Not like this. This is a different kind of story. Mike Michel, I keep saying Michael. Michel Faber's Under the Skin, also a movie. This was great. This was amazing. I don't know about the movie, but it's about an alien who every day goes out in her car. She looks like a human though, but she has been mutilated in her eyes. She has been turned into a human. I am unsure actually what I'm supposed to imagine that she used to be or what her fellow humans are. I have no clue. Every time they were described, I was like, I don't, huh? What do you look, what? No image. No, no image. They're hairy and they have tails. That is what I remember. I just couldn't imagine. But maybe that's also because I'm not used to this kind of story. I do, personally, if I choose myself, I do lean towards more realistic stories. Literary stuff is more my thing. But yeah, she has been turned into the ultimate animal, according to her. She is a human and she hunts animals, us. And in particular, she looks for hitchhikers who are male and big and muscular and won't be missed. So she just drives around Scotland all day and she picks up random men and looks for. She has to ask some questions because they can be discovered, and the reason she does that is because they're food. They're food. They get put into a cave and it's quite gory. And that was ugh. But the layers this has is just it's amazing. Now, if you go into this without knowing that she's an alien, I do feel like you will miss something, because these days not a lot of people have the time or energy or willpower to read a book more than once. If you are reading a book once, that is already incredible and such a feat of resistance in the age of technology. So if you pick this up, I do recommend you go into it knowing a little bit about the story so you can pick up on the subtleties that Faber has managed to put in here. I think it's a commentary on eating meat and how we come about our meat. It's also commentary on how women are treated and I don't know how to explain it. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Hi, Edgar. Welcome in. Big muscular guys won't be missed. Hi, Daz. I mean, she's looking for a particular type, right? Like the type that doesn't have a family and is known to be late and not show up on time for work, for example. So she's just looking for a particular type, but they have to be muscular because she needs the meat. They need the meat. And I guess I'm not going to tell you how exactly they get about it, but oh man. Well, you can imagine. What they do to animals is what these creatures end up doing to the men that Iserly catches. So, they get castrated and fed, and they're conscious. They're very much conscious of what is happening. And that was it. I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in a long time, but reading this might make you contemplate where you get your meat. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat meat. I'm not even saying that. This book is telling you not to eat meat. But we might want to reconsider how we get our food. That was a huge part of what I took away from it. At least. I need this one. Hold on. I lost you. Oh, that was interesting. Um, from Toronto, Canada. Oh, can you see the aurora from where you live? I'm very jealous. Canada is very pretty. I am doing okay. How about you? Big Rama, those animals is far worse. I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad, wisdom. It's not good. We should not. If we humans are such wise and amazing creatures, I feel like that should include empathy for other living creatures, whether you want to believe that those creatures are conscious or not. I feel like if we are so sophisticated as a species, the way we go about treating other living creatures is not okay. And we should be able to do that in a more humane way. Right? That is my opinion. I think that if we really were that wise, we shouldn't be torturing other creatures, because I feel like empathy should be a very big part of intellect. It doesn't make sense to me. Um, Now again, this is not uh, me saying you shouldn't eat meat. You have to do what you gotta do, and the protein is very important in your diet. And if you are not able to buy meat that is 100% certain, you know, well treated before, that's not your fault. It's almost impossible, right? And it's just surviving, and rent is already ridiculous these days. So I'm not making a commentary on that. I'm just talking about the book, and I do feel like as humans, if we're really that smart. But I'm not saying that, Ox. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying, and I want that to be very clear. Just because I have decided to not eat meat, and this story is kind of a commentary on that, by putting humans in the shoes of animals, castration included, without painkillers, because that's what's happening, right? That's what's happening to these animals. They're being force fed. And I mean, I know a lot more about what goes on with how your bacon gets on your plate than I really wish I did know, because nah, it's not okay. It's not okay. And I think it's very smart how this author has turned the tables. Um, and it might make you reconsider how you consume your meat. Not saying that you shouldn't, and he is also not saying that you shouldn't, but maybe the way we go about it isn't as sophisticated as we want to believe. I think so, at least. Poor Wilbur. Who's Wilbur? Hi, Leica. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Humans have teeth that are designed for eating meat. You are right. The animals should be treated ethically. Yeah, I mean, look, if I go to, say a festival, say I go to a festival, I would be lying through my teeth, and I'm pretty sure that anyone who is a vegetarian or a vegan would be lying through their teeth if I would say that I don't get that I don't start to salivate when I smell food. The thing is, you can also make that smell with vegetarian food or vegan food. It's just how you prepare it. If you just burn a chicken leg without any seasoning and no butter, no oil, nothing, just it's gonna be really bland. It's how you prepare it, right? And I'd be lying if I said that it doesn't smell good, meat, when it's being cooked. But I personally don't like supporting the way it's being done right now. I am sensitive. I cry about everything. I spent 5 minutes on social media and I have a mental breakdown for 3 days. So, I'm just very sensitive. And again, I'm not saying that you should behave like I do, because I don't recommend being in my head. It's messy in there. So I'm not denying that meat doesn't taste good. I'm not saying that you should stop eating it. But this is a very clever way to let people know that maybe we could do it differently. Maybe we should not look at animals with a beating heart and emotions, whether we would like to admit it or not, the way we do now. Maybe we could do it differently. And that I think that's he does amazing. I'm looking forward to reading something else by this author. If you have a recommendation, please let me know, either through the book club or because I think this author has probably a lot more interesting observations about society. But also, if you just want to recommend myself, is something that I should read about from this author, please let me know. I mean, the Book of Strange New Things and Some Rain Must Fall and Other Stories is being promoted on the back. It was amazing. I was very impressed. A bit disappointed by the ending, but I guess, yeah, that wasn't really not a good way to wrap it up. So, and it probably also tailors to a certain audience the way it ended. Charlotte's Web? Have not watched that either. I know I'm so uncultivated. It's horrible. Please help me. It usually comes down to what's the cheapest thing that I can put in the microwave for 2 minutes. Is about as deep as it gets. Yeah, and a lot of people have to do that, and I get that, Ox. I get that, and I'm sure that you do other things to make the world a little bit better. At least I hope so. And that's all we can do. Not everyone has the ability to think about every consequence. Not everyone is privileged enough to be able to choose a vegetarian lifestyle, maybe, or vegan. I don't know. I'm not vegan, by the way. I could not live without butter or pizza. So that's the choice that I made, and I think we all do a little bit to make the world a little bit better. And I would never be angry at people for eating meat, even if you buy the cheapest meat. That's not my place, first off. And second off, I get bullied too much about being vegetarian for no reason at all. If I mentioned in real life that I'm a vegetarian, you would not believe the things that people say to me about what happens to animals. I know, that's why I don't eat meat. But like actually people start telling me torture stories. Like, why? I'm not bothering you. I'm just living my life. Please stop. So no, you have to do whatever you can do to make this world a little bit better. And for some people, that means that you can only make sure that you stay alive. I go through those periods as well, that I can't do anything but keep myself alive. It's okay, because you're important. You have to stay. You have to stay here, because in the future, there's bigger things waiting, and you never know who depends on you staying around, right? So I hope that's clear, that I never make a commentary on your personal life. Never. I couldn't. I have no right. So if you want to pick any of these up, though, I do recommend them. Like, I may not have been scared of this one. It's a good entry point, especially if you're familiar with the games and the concept. Short stories, and it might just get you hooked into reading. If you want a little bit more food for thought, pick up this one. So interesting. I just gave you the barest layer of what is going on in this book, but there's so much. There's so much that you can learn. Because I'm not even going into the corporate side of it all that she's dealing with, or what it's like to be a woman, which also is something that they go into it a little bit. I'm so impressed by this guy. How did he do this? Don't know. They can't eat cheese. Oh no. No, cheese is life. If it wasn't for cheese, I'd be vegan. Yeah, I mean, the vegan cheese has come a long way, but I remember the first time I ate vegan cheese, that was just toe cheese. What the hell? What the hell? Who approved that? No! So it's no wonder that people who were exposed to the first vegan cheese are like, that shit is nasty, because it was. Lying through that corner of our teeth. Yes, wisdom. I had beans and rice with some spices for dinner last night, and it tastes fucking amazing. Yeah. I live in SoCal. I'm going to call you Gal. Is that okay? I don't remember what I did with your name. But yeah, if it wasn't for butter, butter is really one of the most important things for me. If only because I do have trouble eating, so I have to, bad the things I eat with fats whenever I can. But pizza is life. And as a Dutch person, I couldn't give up cheese entirely. I did go without cheese for quite a bit before they started using non-animal rennet, because cheese isn't inherently vegetarian. In case you didn't know, cheese is actually it wasn't vegetarian until pretty recently, because they use rennet in cheese. And rennet is made from the stomach of a calf. Now, it is true that they can make a lot of cheese with one stomach, but the moment I found out that they used that, I cried. I cried so much. Like, what do you mean? I don't want to eat that. So I think I went without cheese for about 2 years, and then they started using vegetarian rennet. Beetroot sandwich? I don't know how I would go about making a beetroot sandwich with them. I believe you though. When I was a kid, I really liked chocolate spread and chicken roll sandwiches. Chocolate spread? Chicken roll sandwiches? I don't know what chicken roll sandwiches. I think I know what you mean with chocolate spread. I mean, we have chocolate sprinkles up here. Once you learn to cook for yourself, being vegetarian vegan is way easier, but sometimes an emergency pizza is needed. I mean, pizza is still vegetarian if you have vegetarian cheese. But I agree, Keaton. Kel is fine. Okay, good. Get this oil stuff instead of butter. You should give it a go. I think it's called Bertrolli or something. No, Uggs, no. You can't. No. That's fake butter. Fake butter. No. I have a passion for butter. Okay, there's butter, and then there's non-butter and oil. But there's a huge misconception that margarine is butter. It's not. It's oil. Okay, it's oil. I don't want to start talking about butter though, because I don't have the energy. I do use oils like olive oil for my spaghetti and my pizza, but not like in general. I live on butter. Oh no, she's talking about my. Okay, I have to go anyway. I was gonna close off, but I'm gonna have to do it a little bit quicker. Real butter is too hard. It's a pain. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ox, you realize that you have butter, special butter thingies that you just put in your cabinet, right? You just slice the amount that you need for the day or the 2 days, and then it's on room temperature. You realize that's an option, right? Because that's how I do it, and I think a lot of people do it like that. In the Netherlands, at least. So yeah, no, don't use it from the fridge or a hot knife. Yes, wisdom with the wisdom always. No, we're not going to talk about butter. I'm not kidding. I have a very deep passion for this, and I can get really angry at people when they don't understand that there's a difference between margarine and butter. So, but I don't have the time. Hostess needs to start making vegetarian Twinkies. I miss those. Aw, aw. You could make them yourself. Thank you for being here, Edgar. Yeah, I need to go anyway, but I'm sorry it's been so stressed out because of this stupid lady. No, it's really far away. I'm not gonna go there. That was interesting though. But I have a kind of an appointment, so I just need to go in general, and I'm scared to be doxxed. So, um, these books are great. Next Sunday we're doing the raffle for December. So if you have any holiday specific books that you would like to be considered for December, please submit them through the cherry points. If you could, the holiday specific ones. And when I say holiday, I don't mean Christmas only, because I had to put books in there myself because no one was listening to me. So I needed submissions, and quite a few of my submissions, I've never done this before, by the way. I have never done submissions in the normal book club raffle or anything. But for the holidays, I have a few dark ones. So like being snowed in with a serial killer or something, right? That's what I mean with holiday specific, more like winter specific. But if you have a cozy read, that would be great too, because I kind of want some cozy actually. But we'll see. All right? I need more drink. No, Millie! Stop. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pee my pants if I don't. Eat some butter. Right from the stick. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be productive and stuff. Again, next week we're doing the raffle for December for the book club. But for now, this is it. So thank you so much for being here. I love you. Don't forget to drink water, which I did none of this entire stream. Take care of yourself. Be kind, not just for yourself, but for everyone. And do the best you can, all right? We're all doing our best. And judging others won't bring you anything. It doesn't. You really don't get anything. So just mind your own business and try to be helpful if you can. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.